interesting matchup, especially given the fact that we're seeing Zeke kind of come in on this deadlock compared to the KO on McNutty. So there's a bit of a different compositional thing here. I think it will be really up to that initiator to really lead the way, because those flashes and on top of that too, the 0 point will do an excellent job at cutting through the utility of these attackers.
Damn, Fair is fearless because he got tagged by a recon, still peeked and looked at the sun directly, and Blue Water are trying to throw some nets out and play off of that. Chaotic wants to get behind them, and Blue Water just carve their names into this site, and BOXR try to hold the back line. And T-Dog can play off of his shocks to maybe try to prevent the plant. Bob's pushing through glass, gets the flank in the upper hand, and that gives Blue Water the pistol.
Bob's back on the team, and currently there is no Tejo, and so we're seeing Bob kind of go back to some of the more usual agents that we've seen her play before. That Silva being pretty important, but just in general, the pace being set by Blue Water, it was pretty fun to watch. It's very quick, very ready to just jump onto one site, use Fair as a distraction, because of course everyone's going to be really worried about Fair, and that gives Blue Water so much space and so much time to get themselves set up. So you can tell that they're playing with confidence right now. The question is whether or not they're going to be able to carry that one forward. While BOXR, they're still backs against the wall a little bit more. Sacred going to be bringing in the Bucky on this round, but otherwise Blue Water definitely ahead when it comes to weaponry.
I am going to start to worry about Blue Water if they're going to deathball like they did on Pistol, but that's just bodes for a pistol round. Now they're very much spread out, the complete opposite. Spike left behind, no care in the world, and Bob's lighting up the kill feed too, so bodes well to try and break open B, where Chaotic's going to respect it and also try to get away from the drone that was just put out. Fireball 1v1 steadies against Chaotic. When it rains, it pours. That means Blue Water very much setting themselves up to get a good anti-eco. Or BOXR have anything to say about it?
Yeah, and all of the space kind of yielded. BOXR, they can't even get themselves into position to die to the spike. They have no map control at all. And so they need to die. That's pretty important on this round, but getting there is going to be an uphill battle.
Bot's coming back.
Well, it's going to be a bloody one at the very least, where the Bucky is sitting, and BOXR just going to hold on to that. So, hey, Blue Water didn't get to kick off our pistol last time. Actually didn't win any of our pistols on Icebox. And this is a good start. And even getting to farm up all these kills is great to get the ults going, of course. But so far, it's been a lot of B hits. And even A as well. So we'll see how Blue Water develop from here.
Yeah, it's just a very dominant attack. And once again, getting box of rockets into the chokehold that they really had, in the sense of wow, we can't even die to the spike. Well, we have to die here. Okay, we got to peek out, I guess. But just domination coming in from Blue Water, honestly. They set themselves up in perfect positions to just push through and take all of the space on the map. And Box of Rockets genuinely just don't have any response. So we're seeing a clean bonus come through. Fireball Ops very confident, buying up the Vandal, will have more than enough going to the next one as well. But BOXR Rockets, this is going to be their rifling round. And you can see the things are getting a little bit more antsy for them. T-Dog holding very far back, spots out the head of Fair. So uses the Owl Drone just to confirm how many bodies might be going through.
That Fair goes unchecked sometimes, but the recon is going to make him think twice about how to engage this back site, which we get the spoiler. T-Dog is just going to watch the cross and kind of help support B. Because you kind of seen this look from Blue Water. Getting market control means they'll flood in through B main. And BOXR want to get ahead of the game, but T-Dog's been also smoked off. And this creates some hectic scenarios, including Blue Water splitting up, taking over tree. And BOXR just didn't have the right read. They thought it was going to be B, but maybe Chaotic and Wine can get the spike down and the advantage back to BOXR. But they'll have to turn around at 2 versus 4. The Hunter's Fury not going to last too much longer there for Bob. But at least it gives them the spike back.
T-Dog still alive somehow. Dodged both of those sniper bullets, but Fair now just will be watching for it. gets the headshot off, and that is Blue Water getting yet another round.
Here.
Their bonus coming through cleanly. And we're seeing a lot of a similar story to how the last map went, with Box of Rockets playing more for, being focused on trying to find kills. They're not perfectly playing off of each other. They're not going for combinations of utility really to slow Blue Water down. And that's leaving a lot of holes because, Boxes or Blue Water, they can just run in. They've got the advantage in numbers, or they use a little bit of utility to scout things out, and it works out so much better for them. It almost feels like Box of Rockets are relying on ranked strategies to try and carry them through this map.
Okay, Blue Water just trying to react to this forward position off the net, off the recon. Blue Water just have the edge of information. And they get the upper hand in these duels against BOXR, but just like Icebox, it's a brawl, it's a death match, it's a bloodbath to get a clean round in your favor, even with all the information on your side. So Blue Water still have to regroup.
And still, like Box of Rockets, they don't have any information as to where this hit might be going. Moose spotting out the shoulder of Zeke at least knows something's going on here and will secure that first kill.
Damage is critical. Moose has to hold this position while avoiding anything from Bob. If he plays close, he could be susceptible to the shock bolts if Bob wants to check it. And does so with the gun, which much less expensive. And Blue Water will close the door on that and maybe even the round, unless McNutty cooks up something special with the flank. Or no, okay. I was like, I don't know if they have a lot of time for that.
Does have the 0 point as well with the rifle, so not impossible, but still tough based on the positioning.
Just hearing the jump now through main, having to cross the road and look both ways, and it's a trail of bullets that'll find you if you pick the wrong side at the wrong time. Bob's just gonna play her life and out of sight, out of mind. So McNutty has to clear through hell and through heaven, and that was a quick flick. Wait a minute. Very winnable in that 1 versus 2, and has zoned off Bob, forcing the re-engage immediately. The pressure on her shoulders that she could not handle. And what a clutch from McNutty.
Clutch.
Yeah, Mick Crazy coming alive in the server. Excellently played there. I thought for sure Blue Water, with how they set up their post plant, should have been able to win it. You're going onto these different angles. You're going to force McNutty to have to try and take the swing on both sides, or at least they will be able to watch each other out. And yet still McNutty somehow able to navigate through things, slip through the defenses after a bit of a brawl at the start of this round, and come out on top. Excellent just positional awareness coming through and holding the fragment to make sure that you can zone things out if the first kill happens. So all things considered, excellent job coming through from McNutty to make sure that Box of Rockets do not continue to let this slip through, as it does look like, unfortunately, we're in a little bit of a tech pause.
Well, I'm just excited to see Chaotic with an op again, because he was so nasty back on Icebox, whether with it or without it. And that's really got to help the team, because in the kill department, it's looking rather low on the BOXR side, because Blue Water, they just storm the trenches and they just fully take over a round. It felt very close at the beginning, very 2v2, 1v1s, but yeah, Blue Water have very much settled into this map.
And it's so interesting to me because Blue Water are bringing a composition with double Senti, and sure, the GravNet does an excellent job at catching people off guard, allowing for kills to happen, but you don't expect this level of offense to come through from this said composition. So honestly, Blue Water are playing this one really well.
Right, BOXR definitely got a sense of someone's coming through A main. Early paranoia from Moose. Try to get the timing against a potential dash in from Fair, while Blue Water just wait out the smoke that Moose placed in between them. And there's still some lurking going around from Blue Water on mid, but they're very much stacked together and all for the lockdown to be used. But there's a corner that Moose and McNutty can stay in, and T-Dog's going to be right on the perimeter to engage into this. Here's the engage. Oh boy, and Blue Water just run head first into the wall that is the defenders of BOXR, and the spike is down, and Well, Fair just did all this to go on an adventure to flank, and it's Chaotic steady with the op, steady with the aim, and BOXR trying to get back into this game.
Here you go, Jen. You wanted the Chaotic op? We got the Chaotic op. That was
Yay.
sick. The read on Fair storming through, and honestly, I was so curious about how Blue Water were planning on breaking open the site. They don't really have that many open flashes, and the smoke suddenly becomes one of those things where it's like, I could be walking out into a complete big firing range, or there could be nobody there at all. So without that additional flash presence in the kit of Blue Water, I mean, sure, Zosel does have the paranoia, but that doesn't clear sight like that. It just became impossible to happen as Chaotic starts us off yet again. Fair going down, and Chaotic still looking for another one, but at that point, Zosel will just smoke it off to disable that operator from getting more damage.
Just Chaotic knew that Blue Water were going to be on top of that box. It's just next level reads. And Blue Water really missing Fair in this moment, because to try and get into any of these sites without someone who can very quickly take that space, and Fair has been great at opening up the top mid to market side. Blue Water will hope to get luck on their side of BOXR trying to peek into them, and Fireball just fortunately walks on with an unchecked corner.
Hate to see that one happen, and now Zo's still just on the other side, potentially of Chaotic being able to find it, but look at that. A smoke forwards to enable more coverage. That disables the operator, but Moose so deadly on the other side.
Okay, Zo just teleporting from smoke to smoke, but Moose was right in between and reads it like a book. Sacred still just unpunished, watching this top mid side, and maybe Blue Water just overly relied on Bob's recon, and she'll just now earn herself another, but 1v5, this may just be about holding on to the weapon with how kind of broke Fireball and Fair are, maybe trying to deny the op, but now a flawless round for BOXR and ultimately a tie.
Good positioning from BOXR Rockets across the board. I mean, it all starts off with Sacred just kind of playing so far forward as Fireball Ops doesn't check that corner. And then when the flood happens in onto site as well, you see Moose goes unchecked, able to just walk through and navigate in. It just felt like a little bit of lack of due diligence coming through from Blue Water to clear out all these different areas, allowing for that backstab to consistently just get online. So, you know what? BOXR Rockets, they're right back into it. They tie us up. We're seeing Blue Water forced onto a little bit of a half buy here. Still, though, they're interested in moving in onto A. That issue that I mentioned with a lack of flash, though, could really bite them in the back here.
There's a net being thrown from Zeke, and still Annihilation that could have been pulled, but Blue Water step in, and they got kind of hit by some counter util from BOXR, which created a lot of chaos. Fair manages to get pretty deep into heaven, but because of the smoke is going to concede that position to BOXR, while the defense tries to reestablish with the lockdown. And Blue Water just not going to be able to access that, especially without not being able to get into tree and beyond.
My territory, my room.
So Blue Water, someone is going to get detained. Maybe use this bait. The Annihilation trigger pulled from Zeke to kidnap one. And Sacred is gone. You still have an op, but it doesn't matter. Blue Water are just so comfortable.
You cannot convince me that that was not a rehearsed bit that just happened on that retake. The fact that Fair gets caught in the middle of all of that, is detained, hangs out, the Annihilation goes off of a weird angle and somehow still catches it, just in the corner there. And then at the exact same time, both T-Dog and Chaotic set off the sonic sensors, stunning both of them so that it buys enough time for Fair to get out of the detained status and walk through and find that backstab. Like, a masterclass coming through from Zeke on the deadlock for all of those timings to work out perfectly. And it just completely shuts down BOXR Rockets.
Oh, Fair gets picked after Zo just committed the ult to teleport into hell, and is gonna go there too. Jeez, Chaotic is on fire today. Looking for the ace, the 4K. Wait a minute, Bob just wants the op. But at this point, you got to respect the ace, right? And I think Chaotic's going to want to swing off of this. Moose doesn't have the paranoia to enable this. There is the hunt, and Bob with the denial. Here's the bait, and McNutty just robs him of the ace, but a kill is a kill.
You know, a kill is a kill is a kill. We love a good stat player. Big Nutty, just like they don't. I was top of the leaderboard at one point. I'm just saying. Still get that final kill there, but it is just the chaotic show. Pops the blades, excellent recon bolt to get an idea as to where things are going, shuts down all of the members there, and there's just simply no response from Blue Water really at just stopping chaotic, just going on an absolute rampage on the team. So Blue Water, we'll try it again. The buy is scattered at best. Only investing. Okay, they got 4 rifles here, and Zostel will have a stinger, but lots of information gets used right off the bat.
Yeah, you didn't even need a crazy lineup for that one. And Hunter's Fury, well, if you know where we are, we just don't want you to be there either. Okay, they're gonna try the Zostel tries to teleport strat, and BOXR goes unchecked into that corner, and that's the unfortunate part with Blue Water at a disadvantage in terms of the information. BOXR knew what was coming and when it was, so Blue Water will just have to chill now. Ain't got the spike.
And Fireball Ops, fortunately on the other side of the mesh. Friendly util really stopping things down, but just honestly, like you said, looking for kills, and the lack of flash, the lack on the entry, the initiation is really being felt on this A site, and yet still Blue Water really heavily favoring that A push, regardless of the outcome. It seems like they don't necessarily have an answer for stopping the defenders in heaven on A, besides just kind of going out there and Bob hitting some nasty flicks with the Guardian in hand. And while, yes, that is an excellent strategy, when you're going up against Chaotic, who has consistently been watching over A, that gets really difficult to try and execute. And previously, we saw Moose playing on the site. That time, we see McNutty playing in a different position on the site. Blue Water, rightly so, will be taking a timeout now to try and figure something out, because they're really starting to suffer from a lot of that like long-range pressure that BOXR Rockets have been implementing.
Just need to get a plan for B, and it's been tough to get top mid control, which has been important pillar of Blue Water's strategy to break open B, because going through main is a little sketchy against a really good Sova. And then how do you test out how you're going to pressure an op, because Chaotic has been dominating on A, and A site has been hit so much that BOXR can keep reinventing their setup for that. And Blue Water have tried different things, from Zolstol teleporting into smokes to using the ult to get into hell to fair dashing in, and it's been a lot of first bloods in BOXR's way because of that.
And like only so many of the members of Blue Water can really teleport their way onto the site, right? Like they have to just walk in. Inevitably, someone will have to walk in through double doors. When they do that, they're met with just unlimited gunfire, it feels, from BOXR Rockets. And well, that's good suppression. Should give away what the plan is here.
And Blue Water is still going to try and commit to this. And, well, they got Fair in a nice position. Fair's feeling confident and just strikes through T-Dog. That's a good start for Blue Water, but not thinking like they had the most amount of space. But still, Zostel just getting information. Just a bit of a scout. Chaotic will drop the op and take the L to Fair.
Wow, okay, Fair just absolutely pops off. Good momentum round coming in from Blue Water to re-stabilize them there. You know, the same issues were still being had on that A site. Things were still just kind of walking in there, and you see the members of BOXR Rockets still alive in the midst of all of it. But this time, using Fair, they're able to dislocate what that pressure from heaven was. And so that makes it a lot more digestible for the Blue Water offense to clear out what is close and in front of you without having to worry about a node and without having to worry about an operator in heaven on A. So that works out fantastically for their team. A boost going to be running it down.
What is this rundown from BOXR? The Hunter's Fury 2? I mean, if Blue Water are going to go down A main every single round, I would blind Hunter's Fury that too. I would teleport in their face too, but I'm Iron, they're not. And it works out for BOXR because of that. So Blue Water only down 2. It's not over, but the spike is on its way towards B. So all the pressure is on Sacred to try and hold back.
Information given away here, and the spike goes down, so good for BOXR Rockets.
Hey, Sacred tags up Bob, gets the attention of Blue Water, and just tries to dance and gets everyone to buy time, but BOXR are on their way. No util for McNutty, and T-Dog's got 2 shocks to try. Okay, I did not think that was gonna work. He is Katniss Everdeen over there, but the spike still does get planted. He almost couldn't have heard it because of the Odin, but 2 versus 2, all tagged up with nowhere to go. And now a retake. Just with the shotgun versus the world, brings out the Vandal, knows where the one is, but not quick enough to the trigger. 6-5 lead now for Blue Otter.
Yeah, it works out. Hey, they swap it up, and it catches a box of rockets off guard. Like, they fight for that initial engagement there. There's still so many members of Blue Water, and yet halfway through the round, they decide to call it, given the pressure that they've got over on the other side, thanks to the Sylvan Killjoy. It's a bit messy there, but Bob really holding things down at the back site. The fact that she is able to stay alive and get so much value throughout all of that was huge for Blue Otter. And now, we are in the last round of this half. We're seeing a lockdown available for Blue Otter. On the other side, McNutty does have the KO ultimate available. So that could be good, but what a shot. Fair already down.
It's the one time Blue Otter swap things up. BOXR still get the first blood. Gotta expect the unexpected. Now a lockdown. It's gonna get T-Dog into a bad spot trying to escape, but Blue Water are smoked off, so they can't even punish that. And well, BOXR have angles all around where Blue Water are. And Chaotic is gonna continue to pick them apart unless Blue Water have an answer. And what a swing from Fireball in that moment. But BOXR are still controlling the exits, and Blue Water ain't controlling nothing.
No, they really aren't there. And so BOXR Rockets will be able to get us to that 6-6 half. I was going to say, like, okay, we got the lockdown, but the spike's so far back, and I don't like this angle that we're seeing Chaotic take with that operator. It's going to be hard to cross, and then immediately the spike gets dropped, and the lockdown goes off, and, well, there's no space taken for Blue Water, and they get trapped, and there's nothing they can do. It's so hard to watch, but it's kind of how it goes. If there's no real space on the follow-up, the plan immediately falls apart. And so great stuff from BOXR Rockets to at least tie us up as we're starting to see Chaotic really come alive in this series. Swapping around 6-6, as close as ever between these two teams. Let's see if BOXR Rockets can really force us to that map number 3, where Blue Otter are able to stay alive in a Challengers Split 3.
Fun little sacrificial turret that was from Sacred. And he absolutely fries on pistol rounds and will be the lurk for BOXR if Blue Water try to extend over at A. But meanwhile, BOXR just don't want to get tagged from any recons, any shocks, and Bob has to pretty much single-handedly try to control this, but now crossfire it up with the KJ. Blue Water can just kind of sit and wait. All those counter shocks are making Blue Water pivot and turn, and T-Dog converts too. Bob is tagged up, and BOXR really put the red carpet down, soaked in Blue Water blood. Try and get this B site unlocked.
Oh.
Okay, wait, it's not the cleanest, but surely this is just the win for BOXR, unless I cast or cursed it. Zeke did just spot the barrel and is gonna find timing, and I was wondering how long they were gonna hold that for. That's diabolical.
I haven't seen that up down before.
Spike did not get planted, and now BOXR have to retake this site to get their spike back. This is unexpected. Zeke in a 1 versus 3. I'm so sorry I cursed this. It's, I don't know which curse, which blessing. Zeke on equal playing field against Sacred, got the net on them.
10 seconds left.
But it's still, Sacred has to plant, and Zeke clutched it. Oh my God, there's no way.
No need for the
All I'm going to say, BOXR Rockets, you can reach out to Lemon after this and say, why did you do that to us? Because that should have been so easy for BOXR Rockets. And yet Zeke coming alive, kind of crazy with it, walking through onto the site. First of all, finds the flank completely onto T-Dog. Once again, the unconventional up-down, but most importantly, secures the space, which means that there's more than enough room to go around. We see that the grab net comes back online, and so there's another tool to utilize. Time's running out, works out perfectly. Blue Otter take the pistol round. So they buy up into this one, as we do see BOXR Rockets just on a full save, pressuring towards A right now. but no ground taken just quite yet.
Zeke's already shown us how much of a high IQ player he is, just based on the Sage walls from Icebox to how he approaches that 1 versus 3. But Bob's approaching Evan. Just in that one and done spot, hoping to just swing off the contact turret from Fireball, and still ends up being a trade. Blue Water just can't afford to drop weapons or anybody to BOXR.
And, well, that smoke at least secures a weapon being able to get picked up here, so T-Dog will have that stinger. See the 0 point get tossed out. Thankfully, the barrier mesh will keep Chaotic at a distance, but this shotgun could be fun, as the kids say. As the barrier mesh goes down here, Zosel just on the other side has a sense that the rotation is actually coming around. And look at positioning of the rest of Blue Water. They're moving around,
30 seconds
trying to get
left.
a sense on what this is going to play, because 30 seconds means this is when the teams initiate.
I thought Zosel would have been in a great spot with the judge, but maybe wants to react to the Chaotic dash in and maybe has the right read. But hey, the rest of the squad of Blue Water have good support. 12 seconds, not a lot of time for BOXR. Zosel getting around, but tries to deal with the players in hell, and Blue Water get really confused with all the smokes. And Marshall, what was that? What? My Marshall does not do that.
I don't think my game does that. I don't know how that works. But regardless, all things considered, it is still a good round for BOXR Rockets there, because while they're not able to get the spike off, they're at least able to knock out 3 of the weapons there for the enemy team. Like, look at that, Moose just finding a bit of mistiming there, not able to find the headshot. But unbelievable play coming in from Fair. The no-scope flick around to find Moose, I think, is a lot more impressive than finding T-Dog there. So, honestly, a great job. And now, let's see how this one plays out. It's going to be the light buy from Blue Water. We're seeing Zosel round the corner with this judge, Chaotic just on the other end. The rest of the box of Rockets ready to engage on moment's notice.
Kind of the same play out of Blue Water. Put the turret down, try to support the player in the one and done spot, and BOXR just getting better at the approach and punishing Blue Water now 2 times in a row on that. T-Dog and Chaotic are hemorrhaging though, so it could be Blue Water just wiping them out as soon as they enter. I don't even know if Chaotic's gonna get to see the light of day, but still managed to get through. Shots through the smoke. Bob gets lucky, and I don't know if Blue Water know that Chaotic has slipped by all the defenses there, and Fireball finds out the hard way. So this is still something for BOXR to work with. Chaotic is literally a one-man army, and Bob has to try and hold it down, but the spike went elsewhere.
Yeah, well, Bob will still be able to rescue a rifle here. At this point, you're going to be really trying to get a bit of economic damage. Might see an interesting play come through from Bob. Might actually just be calling to save the rifle. But if they're able to drop at least one more rifle, that really will make things a lot easier for Blue Water into the next round. They're all grouped up just outside of that A site, so Bob should be able to catch him on the escape, but it really just is hunting for kills at this point to try and damage the economy of the Otters. Or sorry, of BOXR Rockets.
Oh, hearing those steps. I still can't believe Chaotic got away with all that. I'm like, oh yeah, so dead with the 3 HP. Not the second. It's okay, got interrupted by the round win graphic. But man, the lead is not gone anyone's way by more than 1 round, I swear. Like, we had 8-6, and that was like the biggest lead for Blue Water, and that has already shrunk by 1.
Yeah, this is really just kind of a blow-for-blow map at this point. But we will be seeing Blue Water go for the big buy-up here. They're going to be bringing in an operator on this round. I think I got teased with Bob bringing an outlaw again into this next one. And given the damage that they were able to do to BOXR Rockets, it's not full shields across the board, which really will allow that outlaw to get some damage.
Okay, Chaotic just updrafts on top, drops down, gets a kill. Hunter's Fury behind. It's... Oh, and he got the tag onto Fair. Not the full kill, though. Chaotic will finish what BOXR started. And Blue Water just got suffocated and overwhelmed before Chaotic looked the wrong way at the wrong time. And Blue Water could take control of door and try to retake at that moment. Bob with the most long-distance Hunter's Fury. gets the ball rolling for herself, I guess. 1 versus 2 and swap up the weapon. Now you have to play with knowing someone's probably going to be through main or in hell and heaven. So much to check, so little time. Shock bolts, but no information until the recon just got up now.
One enemy remaining.
Did hear the walk by from Moose. Patience paying off. Spike ticking away. And tap the spike, but it's not going to get McNutty's attention until now. And Bob will get the defuse, I think just barely.
Oh, it's going to be close. I don't know if this is enough time. Oh, 38 seconds. Wow. Excellent play from Bob there. The fact, though, she's able to find Moose right off the bat is massive. Obviously, would have been a little bit better if you found the kill very early on, but the pathing for BOXR Rockets was so confusing, so kind of fast and furious that it completely caught Blue Water off guard. But Bob, she's still good with the clutch, now tying Fireball Ops for the most kills in the lobby. And what should have been that stabilizing round for BOXR Rockets goes Blue Otter's way. Both teams a little bit economically worse off, so whichever team comes out on top will have that gun advantage. But Chaotic going to be popping the knives first, try and pad out that gun differential between these two squads.
Still an insane clutch from Bob, one of the few GC players in Challengers, and from break to no break to back on the team to fragging out when Blue Water need it the most because it's elimination station and Chaotic's gonna put a stop to Fair. That's been a Jet matchup I've been looking forward to seeing, but Fireball's been the ultimate anchor lurking around in this closet. Very deja vu to the spike getting dropped and Annihilation, I think, just kidnapped. Or no, not Annihilation, but man, it doesn't matter. BOXR just got all put down from all angles from Blue Water.
They think
Fireball Ops was just hanging out at the back of B, planted the flag down and said, come at me. Blinded up and everything, still able to find kills as it's just BOXR Rockets one by one walking in through lane. It's kind of unbelievable that so much value was found off this Killjoy immediately after Chaotic gets dropped here. Like stunned up multiple times, finds 2 kills, shuts down the null command as well. Massive value found from Fireball Ops to help Blue Water secure their double-digit 10th round. And now, moving into this next one, it will be the economy for BOXR Rockets. That's not the best, but they will have enough to be able to buy up their weapons. Blue Water, though, more than happy to continue to move things forwards. No operator this time for Fair, who's having a bad shake up against that 1v1 against Chaotic, who has really just come to life on this map thus far. And well, if Fair goes unchecked, things could be deadly, but it looks like BOXR Rockets have an idea.
Speaking of Annihilation, Zeke will have it this time. The red icon was like the null command, but okay, Fair.
Oh, no.
So patient, gonna grab the easy kill and the player getting the orb, and McNutty didn't react on time. Fair. Oh, the barrel's sticking out, dashing away. Moose gonna punish. That is so insane. And the Annihilation eventually comes out, but it's really Fair that annihilated everyone in his path.
This is like one of those moments where when on your resume you put, I have good attention to detail, except you don't really actually have good attention to detail. You're just writing that because you know that the employers want to read that. It felt like that was personified in that last round where we see the members of BOXR Rockets look towards Wine. They're like, we think somebody is there. And yet, as soon as they go by, Fair completely just gets in for free. And of course, it works out perfectly with how that Annihilation scoops up players. Fair is just the knife in the back of BOXR Rockets moving in onto that site, and there's simply nothing that they can do about it. So Blue Otters ready to reverse what happened last week on a different map set this time as they find themselves 11-7. BOXR Rockets will be calling for the timeout right now. Their economy isn't looking the best here, but they do have Sacred's lockdown to play off of without really a counter on Blue Otter's side just quite yet.
Remember, everyone on the talent team predicted BOXR in this. This is a pretty insane comeback just because of the individual talent from BOXR, at least accounting into my decision was kind of the changing roster situation from Blue Water to them really needing to find a peak and their revenge against Landor, aka BOXR. So it's really Blue Water having these clutch moments and really good ideas like Fair being in Wine, which is going to condition BOXR to have to clear through that. or just ignore it entirely, which seems to be the game plan right now.
Revealing area.
Bob at least getting a bit of information that someone is there. Heard the Killjoy bot as well, so should have an inclination. I'm not sure that they're ready for the amount of aggression that's going to be popping through middle. Bob's still watching just in case. Cover those angles while the rest of the Blue Water squad go exploring outside of A. The lockdown goes down here. And this is going to be interesting because it doesn't feel like the engagement necessarily is fully underway until now, but a lot of respect being played to BOXR Rockets as Blue Water just give that up.
Yeah, and Blue Water can just invest their own lockdown, not really be too antsy about it. And Sacred had the heads up on Fair and chokes it. Blue Water head closer to match point, to a series win, to staying alive in the regular season, and Fair is dipping everyone he encounters. There's just no stopping this duelist. Well, BOXR just don't have the right weapons. I'll just cope with that. T-Dog will force 2 repurchases, but Blue Water are rich, they're happy, and it was a great lockdown too to cause the chaos.
I didn't necessarily see it, but I'm pretty sure T-Dog might have actually gotten a double kill with the Sheriff just threw one head into another, especially with Fair being so low HP. But yeah, I mean, the fact that Sacred is not able to find that kill onto Fair really just lets BOXR Rockets fall apart. And just like that, Blue Otter are the ones now on match point. Things are looking pretty darn good for them. Fair does have the Blade Storm. Looks like that might be the call here. On top of the Judge, all right, that's a confidence play and a half. But T-Dog does have the Hunter's Fury. What I want to see is a bit of information being gained first before the Hunter's Fury comes out. And this is an aggressive play from Blue Water.
Oh, the high-low, even while BOXR were blinded by the paranoia of Zostal, they're still fragging. Okay, the clutcher kick is kicking in for BOXR, and they just haven't dropped the body yet. But Bob's gonna be a problem. Almost the third. What a good readjustment. Good pivot from Chaotic. Silences her. Now it's a 1 versus 3. Fireball right into the crosshair, and that's a quick round. BOXR lives on and breaks the win streak from Blue Otter.
With good measure too. Like there never would have been a better time for that to happen given the fact that Blue Water were ready to roll forwards. And it was a very aggressive play. Honestly, just good discipline from BOXR Rockets, understanding what might be kind of happening there and playing it smartly. They didn't crumble under the pressure of Zeke walking through them and, you know, getting caught into the net, a little bit of panic kind of coming across the board, but they still just kind of hold their ground, are able to mitigate that. And then that time that is bought, they're aware of where Fair might be going. And so they don't just leave one person to try and deal with that jet. They deal with multiple. And you see the gunfire, the crossfire in the air kind of fly through to make sure that Fair's wings are clipped. Happens just like that, allowing BOXR an excellent advantage to move in onto the site. So it's a different look from the Blue Otter defense, but it didn't work out well for them just because BOXR Rockets were anticipating that and could adapt when we see that level of aggression come out from Blue Otter.
BOXR's biggest rival, Blue Water, and also a charged mouse. Chaotic's wireless mouse died. Name a better combo of esports players not charging their mouse. But hey, just speaks to the amount of warm-ups they did before the match, right, guys? But yeah, a good breathing moment too.
I run into that problem all the time where I'm just using my mouse and then I'm like, okay, it's time to game. Wait a second, I've been using my mouse for hours and it's run out of battery now that I'm ready to game. You're kidding me. But, you know, that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Well, BOXR are crumbling right now, and at least it won't be the end of them because they'll have a final week unless they somehow come back. And hey, 1 round can easily turn into like 5, maybe? If the BOXR can turn it all around. It starts with the 1 round that they just got, but that's one of the 2 rounds they've won on their offense, despite running the double initiator instead of a double senti. So still haven't been able to really lock down Blue Otter.
Not quite yet, but this is the weird tipping point that might happen right now because, you know, Blue Water, They come out of the first map feeling nice and confident. Things are looking great for them. You know, we're actually going to be able to turn this around onto Box of Rockets. Then map 2 happens. They're finding themselves a 4-round win streak. They're feeling good about themselves once again. They go for a very kind of chaotic play. Okay, it doesn't quite work out. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. You know, we were just having fun. It's all good. Meanwhile, on the other side, Box of Rockets are like, well, we thought we were going to win this. Turns out this is getting a little bit more difficult. Let's calm it down a little bit more. Let's focus up and counter some of the stuff that's happening. Where things start to change is if we do see Box of Rockets start to gain a couple more of those rounds, then Blue Otter suddenly might be feeling a bit more of that pressure. They let themselves go. They let that confidence really seep in and get to them, and that could spell disaster. So Blue Otter, they still have to lock in to close out this series. I don't think it's over yet if they continue to do stuff like we saw on that last round.
It's all up to this round. Chaotic with a new mouse. Is he nice with it? That's what matters. Sacred just trying to get away from being in mid, and sights are open. Fair gets traded, and Sacred's still reloading or adjusting, and this is spaghetti on the floor, and BOXR can't afford that. Blue Otter just gonna hose down mid, make sure no one remains, and Zostal not getting away with using the ult, I think that was. And it all comes down to McNutty to save BOXR. 1 versus 3. If there's anyone I believe on this team that can do it, it's him. But without the spike, I'm starting to lose hope. And there it is, 13-8 for Blue Otter, getting another week under the belt.
Oh, man. If there's anyone who can do it, it's him. And immediately just gets shut down. Yeah.
My bad.
You'd be hearing from a lot of Box of Rockets players after that one, but just across the board, Blue Otter locked in.